All right, so I'm in my shop. I have a little home shop here. It's usually where I do gunsmithing, but my Cerakote oven, I did some calipers. Basically powder coated some calipers, some bright ass orange. This is my homemade Cerakote oven. It's pretty badass. Anyways, I'm gonna set this in there. This powder is 325, 15 minutes. So set the bake. I like to do it for 350. Helps it get up there faster. And I just bake. It's pretty dusty in here. Yeah, there it goes. And I just let it go. And then you can see inside there. Ooh, not really. I got another set of calipers in here. The problem that I found was that inside of them, they were really freaking rusty. So this is some evaporust. So I'm letting them sit in evaporust overnight. Now in a couple minutes here, they are actually going to go. Oh, that cleaned it out good. You can't really see in there, but it is way better than it was. It was super rusty inside of there, especially in the edge where the gasket sits, right where my thumb is. All that was all rusty. So now I'll take these bad boys out. First I need to prep. I have a giant ultrasonic cleaner. I usually use this for cleaning guns. It's about 90% water and 10% degreaser. So I'll take these bad boys out. It's super, super clean on the inside. And since this evaporust stuff is not so great for powder coating, I'm going to set this guy in here along with the other one. Get as much of that evaporust out. Now you can reuse that evaporust a bunch of times. I've used it till it was like damn near black, and it still works. So now I'll take these. They are aluminum, so you got to be careful with degreaser. Like Purple Power does not work for aluminum. It'll turn it gray. It'll etch it basically. Then I like to put the lid on. You can turn the temperature on. Mine, some of these will go up to like 80 Celsius. 37 is human body temp, so 900 degrees at 37. I like to just turn it on. This might fuck with the camera. We'll find out. I'm actually going to run it for about 20 minutes. Has that crazy sound. I already evaporust all of these. These are already done. They were super rusty on some of these. Like this one in particular was all rusty on the inside. So the quick tip that I've learned is that if you don't want these to flash rust after you do that, you go grab yourself some REM oil. If you're a gun guy, REM oil. You can spray this down with REM oil on the inside of that and spray them on basically all these little interior of the rears. There's the other rear here. And it'll never rust. This is meant to keep firearms from rusting. So I used it for this and it worked fantastic. No flash rust. The first time I did this, they flash rust and I was like, damn it, I should have been prepared. Here's the other calipers that I intend on spraying down with this. Oh, you can't see what it is, but it's actually denatured alcohol. I use it for everything. If you see my other videos, you know that. Now I did lay out the parts kind of in order of how to put these back together again. I will blast these in my blasting cabinet, and then this is all the old shit that was in for the brakes tearing down the brakes. So the new I had an issue with these. We epoxy coated these, and that I guess they wasn't cured properly, but as you can see they look wet. That's because they are wet. That shit is, I gotta clean that off. So I'm gonna run those in degreaser. I'm gonna take these out, take these bushings out and start all over again on both sides. Take them completely out, start all over again, and then run them in my ultrasonic cleaner or in my blasting cabinet. Now my blasting cabinet doesn't have a gate. Like I took it out, it's over there. Had a scroll compressor there. Basically what I do is I take that gate out and fill a lot of aluminum oxide. And when I'm spraying, instead of having to deal with a leak, like being not being able to spray
Like I won't be able to, it won't pick up, even though it's like 30% humidity in here. I still sometimes can't pick it up because it gets stacked up on the side. So instead, what I'll do is when I'm spraying, I'll come in here and I'll just scoop that down into that hole where I need. Right now, here's my straps for the gas tank. I'm gonna finish these off, get these all cleaned up, and then also do those links. And then I'm gonna powder coat those links orange as well. It's pretty cool. That orange is awesome. I use prismatic powders. Yeah, prismatic powders. Basically the same company I use for Cerakoting. I do a lot of Cerakoting for like guns and gunsmithing. Basically, it's a little mess in here, but all my Cerakoting stuff is here for Cerakoting rifles and the AR-15s and cups and stuff. But my spray cup, my gun, I clean it and put it back every single time I use it. I always clean everything and put it back. Different screens. Again, if you Cerakote, make sure you keep everything super clean. It's really, really important. And when you powder coat, I'm a messy guy, but I'll just use my shop vac and I'll clean all that stuff up. I like to do it in a box. That way all that powder is in there. And then what I'll do is I'll take that powder out and I'll shoot it through my gun. If I want to just powder coat something that nobody will ever see, I'll just re-powder coat something again in like multi-colors. Sometimes it's blue, sometimes it's black, sometimes orange, sometimes yellow. And I'll just powder coat it just for protection. I don't care. I reuse that powder. A lot of people say, oh, you can't reuse that powder. I don't care. If you're never going to see it, it doesn't matter what color it is. It's just as long as it's protected. So, but anyways, next is to powder coat these. Spray them down, get them nice and clean. Powder coat these guys. I do have these plugs. I use them for gun barrels. I'll put them in a barrel if I Cerakote a barrel and I have to bake it. So I don't get any Cerakote down the barrel, I use these plugs. So these plugs typically will fit perfectly inside of there. They make all sort of them. You get them on Amazon. I think they're like 20 bucks. They work fantastic. So definitely consider getting some of these if you're going to do powder coating. They're just super handy. But these are for the rear calipers. I do plan on finishing powder coating and then getting these all reassembled and basically redone. Cool, they actually sent me a sticker. But yeah, they send you all the stuff you need to rebuild. This looks like this is for the rears. Pretty sure that's the rear. Yep, because that's that new bushing that goes in the back. And then these are for the front. So these are for FD, but it's cool if you get FD brakes. I'm almost positive that these work for FCs as well. Oh, you hear the beep, that means I'm at 325 or 350 over there. So these work for FD and FC rebuilds for your 4-piston or 4-pot. Again, I do not believe they give me new pins. I think they come with my brakes maybe. I ordered brakes from Hawk. I'm going to use Hawk for now until my Sika brakes come. But I'll just blast those on my blasting cabinet, and then I'll probably Cerakote them in black, because Cerakote is like literally a 1/4 mil, some of it a 1/2 mil, but most of it's a 1/4 mil, and it should still be able to pass. And if it doesn't, and it messes them up a little bit, I guess I don't really care, it's brakes. I do want it to look like a show car, but at the same time, you got to cut your losses somewhere. So anyways, I will be tearing this down and doing a rebuild. I probably won't do a rebuild video. There's plenty of videos out there. There's a guy called Icon Garage or something. He basically showed me how to do most of the stuff, tearing these apart, and getting these nice and clean. I used a block in my little mini vise to get it. The Evaporust, it's getting more expensive, man. I used to buy this for 12 bucks, now it's 30 bucks for a gallon. It's ridiculous. But you reuse it if you can. It's fantastic stuff. Well, I'm going to add some more stuff to my video, but anyways, I don't know if you can see in there. You kind of can see in there the orange. 350. You will, if you do powder coat, you definitely need one of these lasers. This is a Harbor Freight one. It's cheap as shit, about 5 to 10 bucks. And you just keep track of your parts, what the temperature of the part is. You've seen this a million times. Shine the light on there, and it shows that my brakes are already at 179 degrees. The cool thing about my blasting cabinet here, or my oven, is that I can control both upper element, lower element, and then I have a main power. So I use both of them. Sometimes if I'm doing like smaller parts, like really, really tiny parts, I'll just do the top. So anyways, hope that gives some people out there a little help. I did find that this is a trans mount, and look at that bushing. That bushing is supposed to be all connected, and it's literally out. So I actually have to order a new bushing for that. I think you just push that bad boy out with a socket and a vise, and we'd be good to go. But yeah, sorry for the mess. Normally it's super clean. I'm like a surgeon when it comes to stuff, but I'm trying to whip this out as fast as I can. So again, cutting your losses. But next time you see it, I promise it'll be clean. Anyways, see you next time. Okay, quick update. So I'm trying to rebuild these rear calipers, and there's videos that say that, hey, you could just pull this out, right? No, you cannot. I put this, get this vise a little tighter. I basically put this on here to try to whack it, because they said, oh, you could just pull it out. So what I did is I put this nut on there, and I tried to bang it out with a punch on the back side of this nut to see if I can maybe pull it out. Maybe it's just seized a little bit. I tried MAP gas to heat it up. It didn't work. So the secret here, I think, is that you're going to have to, if you get yours rusted, you're going to have to throw them into evaporust. But to get the evaporust on the inside, you need to take off this boot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to back this nut off. And then I'm going to pop this little seal right here off, and then let it kind of dangle in there so I can get a look at it. So basically what I'm going to do is pop this little thing off. In the meantime, I'm going to show you that and flip this bad boy over. So you got to be careful, because I've already broke a nut on this thing. Let's see. Alright, so I've already broke one of these. These are your bleeder valves. Tried to take that off. That son of a bitch was seized in there. Even after heating it up, I couldn't get it out. So I ended up breaking it off on accident. Fun times. So what you can do, let's see if I can get this to sit here, is, can you see? Yes. I grabbed a little, basically a chisel. I put it right here. I use a rubber, the rubber end of this, because I'm just tapping it. I'm not trying to go anything crazy on it. You're supposed to be able to just bend that up, but I think it might be seized on. So another trick when this happens, because if I bend that down, it's going to make it, that metal is going to lose its strength, and it's pretty much seized in there. I'm going to try to bend it down. Maybe get the other end of this. Okay, so yeah, you can't get that. So maybe I'm going to try MAP gas. I'm going to heat up around it. Other side of it. Try to get close to it without burning that rubber. I'm too old to get high anymore, so I don't really want to be breathing the fumes in. Alright, turn that bad boy off, and let's see if we can punch this off. Now that metal's going to be soft, but if we maybe go slow, we can get underneath, up underneath it, and break it loose. Your knuckle there, that was awesome. So, alright, try the other side here. We don't care if we tear the boot. Just trying to get up underneath that. There we go. Looks like I broke some of it loose. Get up under here a little bit. Ah, there. I think it's going to come now. Let's just go back over here and see if we can pop her up. Yep, we got her. So that's exactly my problem. You can't get this out. It's probably pretty warm there. Slide this up. And let's see so you guys can see it close. See, look at all that damn rust. I mean, let's see if we can, maybe we'll turn that off so you can see that. So, when you rebuild calipers, watch when you buy this stuff from eBay. There's a couple Facebook sellers that sold me these, and I've seen some shitty ass rotors that they're trying to sell that are all rusted and pitted. It says, oh, it's a cheap build, less than $2,000. But if you're gonna do something, do right. So you see that? It's all caked in there. It's all rust. All rust is caked in there. So, for me to continue this rebuild, I'm going to have to throw these bastards in the evaporust. So, got a whole bucket full of it. I'm going to set it in here. I'm going to see what happens. By the way, the rotors came out, or the calipers came out sick. I'm going to do another coat on this side. This one already has 2 coats because of my trial run. I'm going to cake it on here a little bit better right here. Give it a nice nice sheen. Well, they're still pretty hot. Yeah, they're about 100 degrees, I bet. And drop it. Good thing about powder coating is if you drop it, it doesn't mean anything. But yeah, they look fantastic. Yeah, I just 10 here. So I'm going to probably shoot this one more time. I let them cool down to almost completely cool, and then I shoot them with denatured alcohol. Wipe them down real good, and then go right back at it. So, anyways, until then, I will see you. Alright, YouTube. So, I watched a video on Icon Garage about rebuilding the calipers. So I rebuilt my calipers. The biggest problem that you see is getting these big bolts out. You're supposed to take these out to rebuild. And I am a mess here, but there is a set of O-rings, which I have a mess here. They are tiny little O-rings. There they are. There's one. There's the number 2. These guys go in between the caliper. It's hard to see. I'm going to set them on this razor blade. They go in between the caliper when you separate them. I actually have to redo these because I broke a bolt off in one of these yesterday. So there is a little spot here that needs to be cleaned. I got to clean all this with a Dremel. But on the other side, the side that I broke, see, I had to wallow that out, and unfortunately, I got to keep the same threads. I just redid it. But that little O-ring goes right there. So if you set this down, it will go here. Now in his video, he didn't know where the hell they went, but they go right there. Both sides. So I separated these bought new bolts. Unfortunately they don't have a flange, so I'm using a washer. They don't look bad. They I believe they are M10 by 1.25, and they're partially threaded. I got hardened bolts. These are 8.8 grade or 10 grade metric, if you will. Yeah, 8.8. It says it right on it. There you go, 8.8. Anyways, so when you back these guys out, just go forward, back, forward, back, forward, back, forward, back until you get them out. I did it on every one of them except for one got stuck. That is the one that is right there. I got stuck. I had to put it in a vise and shoot up my powder coat because I thought, oh man, I can get it out. Not true. So, that was a pain in the ass. Be careful with that. Another thing is that your bleeders, the reason why I separated is because my bleeders broke off. Because apparently these were rebuilt. Well, bullshit. They weren't rebuilt. I buy these on Facebook. They say, oh yeah, they're rebuilt. So I was like, I'll just take a look at them. They were never rebuilt. These dumbasses lied to you. Or lied to me. So, I had to drill that guy out and back it out. We chased the threads. It looks good in there now. But that was a humongous pain in the ass. So rebuilding the front calipers, those little black things that I just literally spilled out onto the table here, right here. These guys they go in that location that I showed you. Secondly, I seen a video, this ultrasonic cleaner, I saw a video where they're like, oh yeah, you just slide out the parking brake. Well, I'm cleaning the parking brake in there now. You can't really see it, but anyways, there's a bunch of needle bearings in there, and there's a hole. That hole, there's a shaft that goes down in there. The center shaft that does the corkscrew for your rear brakes. That shaft connects to a little pill type bearing that sits into a channel of a bolt. Now I'm gonna pull this up so you guys can see what I'm talking about. So if you're doing small parts, you can always put them in a Tupperware. This son of a gun's gonna be a mother trucker to get open. Let's see if I can get it with some finger strength. Come on, guitar fingers. I've been building cars more than I've been playing with guitars, so now I'm dealing with that. Grip. But anyways, let's see if I can find it. Yeah, here it is. So I'm just cleaning these guys up. So a pill sits in there. It looks like a pill. It's a bearing. It's a steel pill. It's in the bottom of here somewhere. I think I just grabbed it, luckily, first try. So that sits down into that little bowl, or of that bolt. And then on that, then sits into there. So get that better look. So this is your e-brake. Then that sits onto, oh, there it is, I got a hold of it. This, oh, same thing. Let me grab it. It's in here. Here. So on the bottom of this is domed. So there, on the bottom of this, goes the pill, and that pill sits into that other bolt that sits kind of like my pinky is, in there. That pill sits in there. As you turn it, it either rides up or rides down, and it puts pressure on the brakes. Okay? If it's seized in there, you're never going to get that out. You can't pull this out without, you can't pull that other one out without taking this one out first. So this one's a pain in the ass to get out. He just pulls it straight out. You can't just pull it straight out. He was wrong. You cannot do that. It's impossible. That one was loose, and I got it out, but I had to wiggle that, pull that center corkscrew one out for the actual, what do I call it? I guess the piston. So I had to pull that bad boy, pull it out to get that other e-brake out. So that said, I'm dealing with that problem over here. I can't get that guy out. This will not come out. We've tried everything. This, we've heated it up, we've whacked on it. Now this one is getting better. It was seized completely, and I think I showed a video of it before. It was seized completely. Now, right now, I'm working on trying to get that grease out of there to try to get some space to be able to pull that out. There is a good trick that the icon said, was to put the piston in here and then use that piston to pull this out. Well, it's still, I mean, it doesn't even move. The last one, it moved a little bit. So I'm going to run this in the ultrasonic cleaner a little longer, see if I can get some of that grease out. I'm cleaning this another 20 minutes and then it turns itself off automatically. But yeah, that is what I'm up against right now. It is a pain in the ass. So rear brakes, very expensive. Cannot buy them. You cannot get them at AutoZone. You cannot get them at Rock Auto. You cannot get them anywhere. You can find them on Facebook, but my requirement would be make sure that you can tug and move the e-brake. If you can move this e-brake, you see all that stuff fall out of it? It's gross. If you can move the e-brake, then you have a good chance that you're going to get these apart. But this one wasn't able to move. I finally got it loose now. The other one I was able to. So since it was able to, then I can pull the center shaft out to get this out. But yeah, so my recommendation, if you buy these on Facebook or on eBay, make sure that this moves. Show them, say, hey, send me a video of this moving back and forth. If this moves back and forth, you have a good chance that you're going to get that center shaft out. If it doesn't move, you tell them to go eat shit, or you tell them to sell them to you for 20 bucks, because you're going to have at least $100 worth of your time putting it, tearing it down to get it to this point. So, anyways, that's just a short little video. Yeah, fun times. So, cool thing about this is that I can set this on 20 minutes, and I can run this up to body temp. I wouldn't probably go above jump. I'm going to drop it down to around 85 degrees. 60 or 70 degrees actually, just to try to help work some of that nastiness out. But yeah, make sure 100% that that parking brake will move. If it doesn't move, don't buy them. I don't care if they say they've been rebuilt. Do not believe anything that they say. You can't trust anyone nowadays. Unless it comes directly from a manufacturer, well, I don't even think you trust that. But at least it'll turn and you'll be able to tear it down. Atkins is awesome. They sent all the stuff out to rebuild. These obviously are the sleeves that go inside. Each one of the pistons. I gotta clean mine up yet. I gotta still hit this with a Dremel and clean all this out. But these little guys sit inside that channel that you can see there. The best way to do it, Icon was right. Get these lubed up. When I put these in, by the way, these guys in, I use 3-in-1 oil. So I just used 3-in-1 oil. I got them nice and I worked it all the way around, and then I put them in place. 3-in-1 oil isn't greasy. It gives it enough lubrication so you can get it in, and it also makes, it's cool is that it doesn't really, it lubricates pretty good, but not so slippery that the pistons won't stay in. Like I had it with the grease on the first one, and some of these just came, like I pushed it in and it was just like fell in, and so far that it felt like this clip, I couldn't get this clip on. So what I do, put a 3-in-1 oil on the second one, put it in here, and then I put this boot, like Icon said, over the top of your piston, and then push your piston in there. But before you push it in there, what I did was take some of this grease that Atkins sends, kick-ass, put it all the way around it, lube that all the way around, and then with the boot on it, drop that guy right in there. And once you get it all the way in there, it'll sit flat. The actual boot will sit flat, and then you're able to take these locking rings and put them over the top here. They work really, they're actually very easy. If he had an issue with them, I never had one issue with them. You don't have to cut anything off them. They literally end up, let's see if you can see, they end up perfect. You see, you have like a 16th or maybe 3/32 of space in between them, and that's perfect. That's what you need to do. Yeah, so don't clip these. These work fine. They're perfectly fine. Yep, well, hopefully that helps and gives you guys a rundown on the brakes. That's my stage right now. It sucks. It's cool because it's something you get to learn. I haven't took apart brakes like this ever. Like, never had to. I mean, what do you do? Change the oil, change the brake fluid, change the lines. Bleeders never get stuck. These, be careful when you buy stuff on Facebook or eBay. There's a lot of jokers out there that aren't honest, and they just want to make a quick buck off of parts. I see a lot of people scooping up these cars, and you have no idea where they sit. They could be sitting outside in the winter, or in the snow and the ice, or in the hot summer where it's humid and things oxidize and look like shit, mess up your car, mess up the part, and then when you get it, you try to, oh, I'm just going to slap these guys on. Not the case, unfortunately. Rock Auto, good company for little stuff. If you want to get rebuild kits, buy it from Atkins. If you want to buy little bolts and stuff, Atkins is a little expensive when it comes to like bolts, specific bolts. You can go to your local hardware store and find these M10 by 125s. Sure, they're not a flange head, but that washer is going to do perfectly fine. The only thing that washer does is to keep that from digging in. And you're probably not going to get the same heads. The original ones are 14 heads. These are 17s. Not that big of a deal. It doesn't interfere with anything on here. It might, I haven't really seen if it interfere with the socket here on this one yet. But, you know, we'll find out in a second here. Matter of fact, I'll check. So, yeah, it goes all the way down. It'll go all the way down. It doesn't, it's going to be close, but it'll fit. So it'll fit perfectly in there. I grease these. Anti-seize would probably be wise. It is fine thread, so it's like a machine thread, so it shouldn't back out. You shouldn't need lock washers. You should be able to just turn these bad boys down and in and not have any issues with them backing out. Now there is a torque spec for them. I don't know it off the top of my head. I haven't looked it up. I just want to get them assembled. Get these guys assembled, make them look pretty, get them all ready to go. My car is black and orange, so these black work fantastic for it. Obviously, if you paint these You can actually paint these heads or powder coat these heads. If you did powder coat it, I would plug the holes. I would leave them out this far out and then tape these with some like thin 1-inch masking tape and then shoot them. That way you can get on both, all corners and all sides without having any like weird channels where you didn't get powder coat in if you powder coat them. I like to Cerakote stuff too, so a lot of times I'll Cerakote this kind of stuff. These are a little dirty, but yeah, so hopefully that helps. Well, anyways, until next time, see ya.